going to jump right into things here because I want this to be a short video, and I know I say that all the time and they end up being a little bit longer than I planned on it, but I really want to try to make this one short. And part of the reason why is because I've actually already started working on my next video, which of course is the next Saturday night vlog, which will be, if you're going off of the real ones, I know I had one that actually ended up being something else. If you go back, you know, towards the beginning, I think it was number 3. But altogether, I think this will be the official 11th entry of Saturday Night Vlog, which is kind of hard to believe that it's 11 already. You know, that's a lot of work there. You know, that's going by quickly. But yeah, the next one, I got all the ideas in mind, so I just got to put it all together. But it does take a good amount of time, so that's why I do want to hurry up and get to it. But yeah, I do want to share the other pickups that I had for this week with you all. If you watched my last video, then you already know a big item that I got, so I'm not going to address that one again. You could just check out the last video. But yesterday I went to Hot Topic and I got these 2 figures here. I got Butt Loose Tina and Beefsquatch. Now what I really like about these 2 figures here is that you really have to know the show, Bob's Burgers, to really get these references here. I even forgot where the idea for Butt Loose Tina came from for a moment. And then I just happened to be watching some episodes because I watched this series on Netflix on a pretty regular basis, and it's on Hulu as well. So I just happened to be watching some episodes, and then I saw where this reference came from, and I was like, oh yeah, now, you know, of course I do remember that. So same thing with Beefsquatch, although Beefsquatch actually was pretty central to one particular episode. So he was on screen a lot more, and that's of course Gene wearing this Sasquatch mask, and then the burger outfit that he wears to promote his family's restaurant. I'm just saying that just in case, you know, you're not familiar with the series. And then the other figures here, it kind of irked me just a little bit that I went to Hot Topic, I got these 2, and then the very next day, you know, today I found out on Facebook that the Hot Topic also got the Burger Suit Gene, which oddly enough is the Hot Topic exclusive. You would think that maybe Beefsquatch would be the Hot Topic exclusive since it is more obscure, but yeah, for some reason, Burger Suit Gene is the Hot Topic exclusive, which I am getting. In fact, I've already put in an online order for it. And I'm not sure if Teddy is out in the wild yet, but I'm definitely going to get Teddy as well. In fact, you all help me out. If you see Teddy, if you know that Teddy's out there in the open, let me know because I definitely want to get my hands on him. Okay, so again, these were the first 2 figures that I got. And these were really the main reason why I went in store to Hot Topic, because I wanted to get these figures in hand. Now from there, I knew that I wanted to get a black light. And again, if you've been watching my videos, if you go back to the video, not the last one, but the one before that, then you know why I wanted to get a black light. And while I was in Spencer's Gifts, that's where I got my black light from. I also saw this here, a Wacky Wobbler of Michonne. And if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, then you got to be a fan of Michonne. And let me show you the reason why I picked this up, because this is only the second Wacky Wobbler that I've ever purchased. The first one was Ant-Man, which I really do love that Ant-Man Wacky Wobbler. I think that character works for this type of design. But here's the reason why I got this Wacky Wobbler. 50% off. And I think they had all of their Wacky Wobblers 50% off in Spencer's Gifts. They also had Ted, you know, the bear from the Ted movies. And it actually was a talking Wacky Wobbler, but I'm not enough of a fan of Ted. I kind of considered it, but then I decided to pass. In fact, if I was going to get anything Ted related, I think I would get the flocked Ted pop figure, which I'm not going out of my way to look for. If I just happen to come across it, I'll pick it up, but I'm not really going to go out of my way to look for that. But that would be the one that I would get. And they had some other figures as well, but of course Michonne is the one that stood out to me, because if you know the series, you know the actress, that is a really good likeness of her. Okay, so I really do like this pop figure, and I already got a good spot for her here in my house. Keeping it moving here. Now, I did an online order from Hot Topic as well, and the big item, like I said, was already in a previous video. So I'm going to show you what else I got here. We got a small item here. You can kind of see what it is, but let me get it out of this bubble wrap. And by the way, I don't know if they're consistent with it or not, but I was pretty pleased with the packaging that Hot Topic did for this order. Everything was wrapped up very well protected. So here we go. We have a Civil War Captain America keyring. And this shield, it feels pretty heavy duty. I'm not going to actually take it out right now. I will take it out later on, but this will be a key ring that I actually will use. I do like that heavy duty feel of it. I mean, it's not like plastic. It feels like it's metal. You see how I'm pressing on it, and it's not bending at all. And of course, that's the way that cap shield should be. So yeah, I really do like that, even though I'm still Team Iron Man. When it comes down to it, I'm Team Iron Man. I'm going to stay Team Iron Man unless something crazy happens with Stark in the comics or whatever. But especially with some recent reveals with Captain America, which I still need to read up on, I think that's even more reason probably to be Team Iron Man. Which, by the way, I did pick up some comics yesterday. In fact, just hang on for a second here. I believe this is the issue that people are talking so much about. I hope this is the right one. So I do need to read this to see what all the fuss is about. I've actually heard about a reveal at the end, but I still need to read the full story to see what exactly is going on, why people are so hyped about that. And I did pick that comic up at Power Comics, which is, when I go out towards Myrtle Beach, that's sort of my go-to shop when I'm headed out in that direction. Another comic that's been kicking up a lot of fuss right now, a lot of people really talking about it, is DC Universe Rebirth. And again, I was kind of spoiled on what's going on here, especially with this hand reaching down here. I already know what that's about, but I still want to see the full story. And I decided to get 2 copies of it with these different covers here because I think both of the covers look amazing. And I just wanted them both. I mean, that's all there is to it. So I'm really looking forward to reading that. And then whichever one I read, I mean, it's going to go right back in the cover there because I do want to keep those protected. Okay. Taking a look here to see what other comics I have. Yeah, I got some more here. I did pick up a couple from Barnes & Noble. I'm a big fan of Miss Marvel, so I got 2 Miss Marvel comics here. Here we got Miss Marvel along with, that's the, what's his name, Miles Morales, I think, Spider-Man. I never actually read that character. And then, I want to say Nova is his name. I keep forgetting these characters' names just because I don't read them that much. I know they've been in the cartoon series as well, one of those Spider-Man series, but I'm just not up on them that much. And then again, I just mainly got this for Miss Marvel. I really like that character. And then another Miss Marvel comic, which really is not her comic. It's the Avengers comic, but she's featured in it. And I really want to know what's going on with this. It says, "Get out, Miss Marvel. You are no longer an Avenger." And you see her crying there. So I'm definitely interested to know what's going on here. And Vision being Vision, it already looks like Vision there. But from his gesture is trying to console her. Which I really like that about Vision. Some people think that makes Vision sort of a weak character, but if Vision was an angry character, he could destroy people and just, you know, in a heartbeat. So that humanity that he has, it kind of balances out his power some. Because if he was just out of control, then yeah, that'd be a lot of trouble for people. Moving on here. Again, from my mail call, you can kind of see what's going on there, even though they're not turned the same way. Let's get this opened up. Now, one of these is a pop figure that I probably should have picked up a good while ago, but I just never got around to it. So now I finally have Scarecrow from Arkham Knight. I got so hyped when I found out that this character, Scarecrow, was going to be major within the game. And then I played the game, and not only was he not that interesting in the game, also the game overall just had a lot of faults to it. But I'm just a fan of the Scarecrow. I like the character. I wish he was better written. I really feel like he should be top tier Batman villains, but he's not quite there. And it's mainly because the way that he's written is just not that interesting usually. But I still love him. The way that he was represented in Arkham Asylum, the first Arkham game, that was amazing. I think he was definitely the best aspect of that game. And then the other thing I have here got a metals die cast Deadpool. Now I really wanted to get this a while ago, but I was looking at this figure in Toys R Us, and it looks a little rough here, but not nearly as bad as what I saw in Toys R Us. I mean, the paint job was hideous on both of them. They had two of them, and the paint jobs, I was just really shocked by how they looked. I'm curious what's on the back here. Okay, so they got Deadpool kind of off to himself, and then they're advertising those Civil War metals die cast figures, which I really don't think I'm going to worry about getting these. I'm not a big fan of the way they look. I kind of like Black Widow. I think Black Widow looks cool, actually, but the Black Panther, I think the way his arms are held and everything, I think they pushed the design maybe too far. I think Steve Rogers looks just way too goofy. That expression on his face kind of reminds me of the Superman metals die cast figure, which I wasn't crazy about either. The Iron Man figures, I've seen, again, some rough paint jobs on them. And Winter Soldier, I mean, he's okay, but I mean, why is he not holding a weapon or anything? I mean, I think that should have been an obvious thing. He really should be, excuse me, he really should be holding a weapon there. Yeah. Here he goes out of his package. A little piece of advice to my fellow YouTubers: if you are going to do unboxings of metal die cast figures, I think you definitely want to do what I just did, and that's to do an edit here, because you can't just grab these guys out of their package quickly. And they are tied down in there with some plastic string and everything, so not exactly a quick unboxing to open these figures up. Looking at the figure here, I mean, it's overall it's true to Deadpool. I think the shape of the head is a little bit awkward, and then the way the head is put together there as well, you can see the crack. You actually can see like a little light through it at certain angles. So not so crazy about that, but I mean, it's not as if I'm going to be looking at it from that angle, from like a side view. I'm kind of wondering though why that separation is so prominent there. But I mean, he looks cool overall. I think, you know, true to the character. Got his knife in hand there, then he has his swords on his back in the sheath. It did kind of bug me with the pop figures that when he has the sheaths on the back, you don't actually see the swords at all. And I know that the head is like really close to it, but I don't know, it still just kind of bugged me that the swords weren't actually held in the sheaths on some of the Deadpool models. And he has his pistols here as well. So I mean, he's loaded up, ready to go. And metals die cast figures, let me see, that one stands very well. I know at least one of the Batman figures that I had so much trouble trying to get it to stand. I did finally work it out to where it could stand just a little bit, because now this one doesn't turn at the waist, but the Batman figures I have, they turn at the waist. So I had to learn to kind of angle one of them just right, and then it would stand on its own. But to me, it's a little more of a headache than it's really worth, I think. But this one, I like the way it stands, and I think that does look pretty good on the shelf. And let me move just this other pop figure up here real quick so you can get an idea of the size. In terms of height, the metals die cast figure is just a little bit shorter, although it's kind of hard to tell because, I mean, this one is wearing a hat. In fact, let me get a better comparison here. Although, actually, the bride is kind of short, but you get the idea. Similar in height. They tend to be a little bit wider. They're very broad-shouldered, the metals die cast figures. So, there you go. Let's keep it moving here. One more thing, and this is not something that came from Hot Topic. Everything you've seen up to this point, except for that bobblehead of Michonne. Remember, this came from Spencer's gift. Everything else was from Hot Topic, except also for the comics as well. But here I have a box, and this is another purchase that I made from someone on Facebook. I made several, at least, I want to say 3 Facebook purchases in the past couple of weeks. So, again, I don't remember exactly what's going to be in here. So, let's do another cut and see exactly what is in this box. This is something I'm expecting to see for a while. A lot of people making use of these mystery boxes to send out figures in just for the extra protection there. But of course, this is not actually one of the Deadpool related mystery figures. Let me show you what's going on in here. Ooh, Can you tell what it is? Eyes look familiar there. The ears look familiar. Let's get it on out. We had the Loot Crate exclusive Joker Batman. And this always looks funny to me. I noticed this when I saw other people check out this figure. The Joker Batman. Okay. It's kind of funny there, but the main reason I got this one, of course, and overall the paint job is good. It looks like it globbed up a little bit there on the bat symbol. I think you can see it there. But overall, pretty solid paint job. But I'm not going to lie. The main reason I got this is because I do plan on getting the Batman Impopsters that are coming up. That's some more combinations of Batman and his villains. The first one I think is coming out is, I want to say Riddler's up first. And then there are some others that will follow him. As a matter of fact, Factoner, he just did a video about these upcoming figures. So I'll just link that video below so you can go check out Factoner's video about the Impopsters that are coming up. But the one that's not going to be included is the Joker, and that's because they already did the Joker, but it was a Loot Crate exclusive. So now I have that figure good to go. And I'm going to leave his in his package for now because, like I said, I am trying to do some work here. I want to get back to getting Saturday Night Vlog ready for you all. And I have something, a focus in Saturday Night Vlog that I'm pretty excited about. So I really want to do my best with that video. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work on that. But I'm really happy with everything that I got this week. This pop, didn't know how I felt about it at first, but it's grown on me a lot. And definitely looking at it now, I think it's such a crazy looking pop. It's pretty cool. And I really can't wait to see it along with the other Impopsters. But yeah, that's it for now, you all. Please make sure you go back and check out the previous videos that I did, especially the last two. And definitely make sure that you check out Saturday Night Vlog, which hopefully will actually be Saturday Night Vlog. But, you know, sometimes it ends up in the middle of the night. Sometimes it's very early Sunday morning. But just whenever it's up, please make sure that you do check it out and show your support. And all of your support is definitely appreciated. Take care.